So I've had these things for a little while now, and I haven't really mentioned them. They're called Wheel. The reason why I haven't talked about them is when I said yes, you can send these, I actually didn't know that they were kind of a knockoff, off-brand of the Segway hover shoes because those weren't out yet. These ones cost about $390 and the Segways are about $500. But I always feel a little bit weird promoting off-brand knockoff stuff because I got these for free. They sent me these for free. But if I say these are really good, you might go and spend your hard-earned cash, your money on these, and these might not actually be that good compared to the Segway hover shoes. And this feeling applies to all gear that I talk about on this channel. We all like gear, at least I assume you do. I mean, I like gear, and we spend a lot of time thinking about what gear to buy. Now, one of the benefits of being a YouTuber is that people want to kind of use and maybe even abuse your audience, and they want to send you free stuff so that I'd put it in my videos, I'd say that it's a great product, and that you guys would go and buy that stuff. It's essentially really cheap advertising, and that's why these companies love sending free stuff to all the people with an audience. Here's some of the stuff that's been sent to me and that I haven't talked about lately. We got these little things, kind of turns your laptop charger into a USB hub thing. Kind of interesting, haven't really tried them out yet. We got filters for the Mavic Pro 2. Oops. We got filters for the Mavic Pro 2, which I haven't actually tried. And funny enough, I got this sent to me, not by DJI, but by Polar Pro that makes these filters for the drones. Thank you, Polar Pro. I really appreciate that. I'm gonna do a full review on the Mavic Pro 2 and then also on the filters because I've always used the Polar Pro filters. I think they're really great. Yeah, so I'll review those. There's the Loop Deck, which is kind of like knobs and controls for Lightroom and that kind of stuff. VidAtlantic sent me these filters which make your lenses kind of look like anamorphics. Free microphone here. Of course, that from my shark diving adventures. Now, why are we talking about all the free stuff that I've gotten? Great for you, Matti. You got some free stuff. Well, I kind of like it that I get to test out all this stuff without having to pay for it, and then I can tell you guys whether or not it's worth it. I remember the days before YouTube where I would have to save, work hard, and buy every single piece of gear, including this guy. C300 Mark II, that was the most expensive thing I've ever bought. It was worth, I think, twice what my car was. And I'd spend hours researching, should I buy this monopod or that monopod? Is this slider the best one? Which one's the best tripod? What lenses should I get? And I think one of the questions that kind of everybody goes through is, should I buy the knockoff version because it's cheaper, or should I get the legit version? Which one should you buy? Which one should you put your hard-earned money into? And for me, I always thought about three things. The first one is price. How much of a price gap is there? Is there a big price gap? Is it just a little bit of a price gap? In general, the knockoff is always going to be a little bit cheaper, but it depends on the product how much cheaper it is. Next, I look at quality. Is the quality a lot worse? Is it just a little bit worse? Or is it pretty much the same, which is more the rare case? Usually, again, the knockoff is not quite as good quality, but again, you need to look at how big of a difference there is in quality. And then number three, and this one's probably the big one, is does it actually do the job that it's supposed to? Because worst case scenario, you buy that knockoff, it was less money than the legit stuff, but it doesn't actually do what it's supposed to. And the reason why we all think about buying that knockoff, off-brand stuff is to save money. But I guess the question is, do you actually save money buying that stuff? Let's take, for example, buying a GorillaPod monopod like I'm using right now. And the typical one is this one, the Joby. Let me show you. The Joby GorillaPod. You can see here, kind of. That's the one that I'm using right now. And it's about $100. So you could buy that for $100, or you could go online and find a cheaper version. You go on Amazon.com, you look up GorillaPod. Boom, $10. That's not so bad. That's a little bit cheaper, 10 times. It supports DSLRs. It looks like it's pretty legit. It's only $10. How bad can it be? It's only $10. It's at least worth $10. I'll just grab that instead of buying the $100 one. There's no way that the actual Joby GorillaPod is 10 times better. It's gotta be at least decent, right? So you spend $10, you order it, and it comes in the mail, you open the box, and this is what shows up. This tiny little thing is supposed to carry a DSLR. This is a Sony a7 III, not the biggest camera out there. Let's see how it does. First of all, it's all plastic. It's like, how does this even work? Does not feel legit at all. I think yep, there, I got it. Okay, putting on the plate. Let's get it nice and tight. Put on the plate. And we're tightening. All right, we're ready to go. We're ready to vlog, guys. And that's what happens. $10 you spent, and I'm just gonna set this camera up here. Gonna just tighten up some things here. It's really sturdy, really good. Yep, I'm a vlogger, guys. I'm a YouTuber. So clearly it's cheaper, it's only $10, but it also sucks in quality. The quality is just horrible. I can't see this thing lasting very long, and it doesn't even do what it's supposed to. You can't use this with a DSLR. This thing's like so dinky, it would fall over in 2 seconds. You would just like, it does not, there's no way you can put a DSLR, this is a mirrorless, there's no way you can put a DSLR camera on here. So now I've wasted $10, this is just useless, just a piece of junk. You're never gonna use that, and now you're gonna have to buy another thing. So you just wasted $10. Yeah, the Joby is 10 times more expensive, but it actually does the job, and it's gonna last you for a really long time. I've been using this guy already for like a couple years now, still working fine. Another great example here is, this is like a basic suction cup mount. You put your camera on here. It's not meant for big, heavy cameras. And then you can go on Amazon, find the cheaper version, and then you get this little plasticky thing. This is like legit. Suction cups are big and all that. This claims like it's gonna hold a lot of weight. You put your camera on here, I guarantee you will lose it right away. So not only is this not gonna last you very long, you're probably gonna break your camera while you're using it. Now, sometimes products are much closer in quality and how they work. For example, when I was looking at monopods, I was debating whether I should get the legit Manfrotto monopod, I forget what it's called, but that's like the classic one. It's built well, built to last, but it's also like $300. Versus there was a company called Benro, I think they're still alive. Benro was making a much cheaper version of it. I think it was like $100 back then. So I did a bunch of research, and I actually ended up going with the Benro. I had used the Manfrotto before, but I had never used the Benro. I bought the Benro, and it was okay. There was some things that were like, oh, it's actually better. Like the head was able to spin around, and the way that you tighten the leg was a little bit different. You kind of spun it, and I was like, oh, that might be much easier instead of having to always clip and unclip like on the Manfrotto. But after I used it for a few weddings, I realized really quickly that it just was not the same. The head was really just like flimsy, floppy, did not produce good results, and I just didn't enjoy using it. So yeah, I was saving about $200, but it was actually hindering my process of making videos. So the Benro was fine, but I ended up giving that away, and I bought the Manfrotto like I should have done in the first place. And then this case is rare. When you actually find a product that is better or the same as the legit stuff. So this happened to me probably only really once in my whole filmmaking career. I remember when I was looking for lights, and I wanted LED lights. They were just kind of starting to get popular, but they were super expensive, like thousands and thousands of dollars for the legit companies. And I was like, I just can't justify paying thousands of dollars for a light. And then I found Aperture, and at first I was kind of like, what is this cheap knockoff brand? This can't be good. I had bought a little LED light back in the day off Amazon, and it was horrible. The color was just so bad on it. So I was like, I don't know if I trust that. But I watched a bunch of reviews, and they were all saying that it's a really great light. And I bought the first Aperture light. It was the Lightstorm LS1, I think, or 1/2 or something like that. And I actually really liked it. The color of the light was really accurate. It wasn't super green or super magenta or anything like that. It was really nice, and it was really strong also in a really tiny little package LED light. It was really great. So I ended up buying a whole bunch of Aperture lights, and I got a whole kit for basically the price or even less than the price of one of those legit LED lights that were coming out. But that, I think, is really rare. In general, I would say probably at least 90% of the time, in my personal experience, it's always been worth it to buy the more legit brand instead of a knockoff. Even if it costs quite a bit more, in the long run, they usually last longer, and you're gonna enjoy working with it a lot more. And let's say, for example, that Manfrotto monopod, I think it was around $300. but let's say I use it for 20 years. It would easily last for 20 years. I use it for 20 years. That's like $15 a year that I would be spending on that monopod. Totally worth it. Any one of us could skip one restaurant meal and make a tuna sandwich for lunch. That would cover that monopod. So it was definitely worth it to go for the little bit higher quality, the more legit brand, instead of getting the knockoff. But like I said, there are exceptions, so you really do need to, or do want to, test it out before you buy anything. I think that's always the best way with all gear. Now, it's not always possible, but really do try to test it out. For example, with the Benro monopod, if I would have just tested out a little bit, I would have probably found out really quickly that I didn't like it that much, and I would have just gone for the Manfrotto, and I would have saved the $100 that I spent on that Benro monopod. And also, if you're doing this just as a hobby or kind of just into filmmaking, but you don't want to make money from it, you don't want to be a professional, then I think it's a totally different ball game. I think as long as you're having fun, you can buy whatever gear. But if you do want to be professional, I think you want to be really smart with your money and get the best results out of that investment every single time. But in the end, it's totally up to you. So that's why I take this free gear, even though it's a lot of work to kind of learn new gear and I'm not getting paid for most of that stuff, because I want you guys to learn from my mistakes. I want to save you guys money. I don't want you guys to waste any of your money on any product. So that's why I'm never gonna promote a product on this channel that I don't like or I think is really bad. I'm never gonna help in that scam, because some things like this guy are just not worth it. So save your money, don't waste it on crap like this. Do your research, and I'm gonna do my best to kind of tell you guys also what I think about different products. So are the cool wheels worth it? Well, they're fun. I like riding them around, but they would not be my first investment. If you're a filmmaker, you probably have better things to spend your money on. But if you got some extra cash and you want to have some fun, then yeah, impress your friends at the office. I think the reason why I like them is because it reminds me of my rollerblade days. Yep, that was me.